The New York Times published Trump's taxes from like 30 years ago. You might ask, how did they get this stuff? But that doesn't matter if you hate the guy. Besides, publishing other people's stuff is what the Times is all about. Who cares if it was leaked or stolen? Or maybe borrowed from Trump?
It wasn't always so easy. About 13 years ago, I was seriously in trouble. I was billions of dollars in debt.
Yep, that's what the Times reported last night. Quite a bombshell. Also in the Times last night, the Berlin Wall, down. The Bay City Rollers broke up. Nobody knows them. Star Wars, actually a hit. And Trump once lost a bundle, say insiders, including Trump himself. Still, the media, of course, their response, Pavlovian.
Turns out Donald Trump is our con man in chief.
Whatever the opposite of everything you touch turning to gold is, that is the opposite of what Donald Trump had.
You have a word for someone who can build up an image like that despite the facts, correct?
Con artist. Biggest loser, yes.
I mean, no one has lost as much money, right?
Well, maybe in a divorce. Anyway, here's the media's immortal take. We got him. Again. This time, right? We got him, right? No. But it's fun to watch you try. In fact, it's hilarious. They keep stepping on the same rake and getting whacked in the head again and again, as all those anti-Trump headlines keep falling flat. Why is that? Well, life is good. The economy's roaring along. Unemployment keeps hitting record lows. So when you're in the media and the world isn't going your way, you got to find another story. Even if that story's been told over and over again by the target himself. So I can't wait to hear about the next scoop, that Trump's been married twice, that he loves golf and women. And yet, what do you hear from the American public? It's the sound of life in 2019 under Trump. It's the sound of calm. But as the press should know by now, you can't hear it when you're screaming.
The President of the United States is a fraud and a con man.
Holy smokes, this sounds like a big development. What happened? Did the president get caught running a Nigerian phone scam? Has he been selling Bitcoin? Did he spend 2 full years pretending that the Russian collusion hoax was real? Nope, nothing that sleazy. Last night, the New York Times revealed that more than 30 years ago, some of Trump's businesses lost quite a bit of money. Because of that, he paid no federal income taxes for 8 of the 10 years for which they had data. Unfortunately, this is a pretty common way to account. Just last year, for example, some of the biggest companies in the world paid no federal income taxes for exactly the same reason. That list would include Amazon, Delta Airlines, Chevron, and General Motors. CNN hasn't said a lot about that. They were too busy gloating over Trump's taxes from the Reagan administration. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Don Lemon.
You know what they say about gambling, casino gambling, right? The house always wins. Well, not always. Not if it's a Trump casino. Come on. Who loses money at a casino except for the person gambling, not the owner? Because I'm good enough, smart enough, and doggone, people love me.
Oh, Don Lemon is easily amused, and he was thrilled last night. When the whole point of your network is to attack a single person, this is a major story. From his shadowy lair hidden high above the newsroom, CNN's secretive dwarf king slithered to the intercom and summoned his minions. From across the cable empire, they gathered at his beckoning, each with talking points ready.
So he's literally the biggest loser. His losses were more than double the next biggest loser in the country. Does this to you explain why he doesn't want anyone to have this information? That he was such a loser, and yet he was literally the biggest loser in the country.
Trump lost money. Well, it's a good thing CNN is on that story. Otherwise, nobody would have guessed that Donald Trump had financial problems in the early 1990s, except people who were alive then or people who have internet access now. 30 years ago, Trump's personal debt crisis was national news. Inside his wallet, Trump papers reveal huge debt, read the tabloids. Trump in a slump. Even David Letterman mocked Trump with a top 10 list. Top 10 signs that Donald Trump is in trouble. In the end, Donald Trump recovered. He made the disaster part of his brand. In fact, he wrote a book about it called Art of the Comeback. When he launched his reality show, The Apprentice, he bragged about all of this.
About 13 years ago, I was seriously in trouble. I was billions of dollars in debt. But I fought back, and I won. Big league.
Because I'm good enough, smart enough, and doggone, people love me.
It's a mental condition. These people are sick. They're crazy. They're crazy. So always keep your eyes open, be careful, and let law enforcement know when you see a kook. Let them know.